Hey, welcome to the exercise part of the course. Now, in this lesson, I'll start building a very simple product page using some of the components that I showed you in the previous lessons and also some new ones. So the very first thing I want to do is have my navbar. So I'm going to say navbar, and I'll start with a nav, class navbar, and I want it to be black. So I'll choose navbar inverse. And I also want it to be fixed on the top. So I'm going to say navbar fixed top and give it an idea of main navbar. Okay, here I'm going to say role navigation for accessibility. And then inside, I want all of my elements to be placed inside a container to be centered properly. And then I'm going to have my navbar header. This is very similar to what I taught you in the previous lessons. I'm going to have my toggle button, which will display the responsive navigation. So button, type is going to be button. I'm going to give it a class of navbar toggle. And since it's a collapse, I'm going to add data toggle, equals collapse. And then data target will be my navbar collapse with a hash sign in front. Okay, now inside the button, I'm going to place the span with a class of SR only navigation, or you can say toggle navigation, and then span with a class of icon bar times 3. All right, so that's your button. Next, I'm going to have an A with a class of navbar brand, which will link to my index.html, which is this page. And in here, I'm going to say product name. All right, let's check it out. Good. Next, I'm going to have my content. Bit of a typo there. So navbar header, and then div with a class of collapse, navbar collapse, and ID of navbar collapse, which is the ID that I used here. Okay, inside, I'm only going to have some links, which will take me to different sections within the page. Because this is a one page, which shows multiple sections, I'm going to have an UL with a class of nav, and then navbar nav, which contains list items with an anchor tag. And let's do about four list items. And let's see, we have, first of all, I need some testimonials for the product. This is a pretty good place to start, so section testimonials. Next, I need some features, so I'm going to say section features. Next, I need a gallery, maybe show some screenshots. So I'm going to say section gallery. And then I'm going to need some frequently asked questions about the product. So I'm going to say section FAQ, and then let's add another one, a last one actually, a section for contact, where we're going to have a contact form. All right, let's check it out. Testimonials, features, gallery, FAQ, and contact. Great. Now I also want to include a scroll spy, which means whenever I scroll to a specific category, the corresponding link will become active, but I'll do that at the very end. Right now, I still need to add some sort of banner because I can't just go directly to testimonials. Every landing page, every product page needs to have like a starting banner which catches the user's attention, and this is usually a call to action. It contains some information and also some buttons which take you to a purchase page or a download page of sorts. So after the nav, I'm going to use a component called Jumbotron. This is the former hero unit from Bootstrap. So I'm going to say Jumbotron, or actually let's call this banner. I'm going to use a div with a class of Jumbotron, and inside I want to center my content. So I'm going to say container and then text center. Inside I'm going to do an h1 plus a paragraph H1 is going to say something like great product title. The paragraph is basically a description paragraph. Now below those, I'm going to have two buttons, one saying buy now and the other saying try it free. Now I can do the buttons normally like two links, but I can also place them in something called BTN group or button group. And I'm just going to show you what it does in just a bit. So, and BTN group. Let's see it. Okay. And now for the BTN group, I'm going to do anchor tag with a class of BTN and BTN LG because I want big buttons, and also BTN, let's say success. Let's do ×2. The first one is going to say buy now, which is a green button. And the second one is going to say try it free. And I'm going to do like a default button here. All right, save. And this is how it looks like. Notice by adding these buttons in a button group, they merge on the sides here. So if I were to disable the button group, they will be separate. Coming back, they're now linked like this. All right, now since I did this green button here, I think I'll also add a green button here in the main navigation. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to add an A with a class of BTN and then BTN success to get that green color, and then navbar BTN to center the button inside the navbar, and also navbar right to move the button to the right. Okay, href, I'm going to say buy now. Refresh, and there it is. All right, now here's the thing. When you add a fixed navbar, you gotta set some top padding to the content below, because right now this banner is kind of hidden behind my navigation. So what I'm going to do is actually create an inline style here, and that's going to say body. I'm going to add a padding top of 50 pixels, which is about the size, the height of my navbar. So refresh, and now I have a proper banner. Now you also need some spacing between these two, and you can alter it in CSS. You can target this paragraph here if you want, and you'll probably do that because you create this website, this page in Bootstrap, but you gotta apply some styling afterwards. I mean, this is just a framework after all. It's a place for you to start. After you're done writing the markup for the page, you can then proceed to styling it. But yeah, that's basically it for this lesson. Next time, I'll move on to the testimonials section.